If someone feels a certain way about the way that I live my life, then that's just not the person for me, right?
Great.
I mean, it really isn't. With that being said, a lot of women do bring up that video the most when they come up to me. It's crazy.
So it's
and
a
lot
promo.
of straight women at that. Straight women love those videos. They're
the worst.
I mean, they're the number ones. I can't even lie.
Don't let them find out you get all them think they gonna be the chosen
Listen,
one.
I know because they have been a few times, okay? I'm not gonna lie, I've dated a lot of straight women more than anything else because they're not scared. They come up and they're like, what's up? When lesbians dance around me and they look at me strange. So I have done my part for our community by turning out a few.
You know what?
You done with me?
You didn't say that.
You didn't bring up homes. Have you broke up homes?
Let me go.
Yes. Hey, Sean.
What up? Come on up in here.
How are you?
Good.
Hey, Sean.
I'm so hungry.
What up? What
Hey,
up?
how are you?
Welcome. Come on up in here.
Come on, Miss. Ooh, this looks delicious.
How is everybody?
What's cooking, Sean?
Nothing's cooking right here. I got tuna poke.
Refreshing tuna poke is a great appetizer on a nice day. With pieces of tuna marinated in ponzu sauce and onions, and crunchy wonton chips to pair.
Oh.
That's raw.
All right.
It's like a good poke.
And raw.
I was about to say it, but I was like, no, I'm not gonna say that. I stopped myself.
I felt your vibration. I felt it.
I got a question.
Yes.
So, in this day and age with social media, it's everywhere. Everybody's on social media. Everybody's doing everything. I don't follow a lot of people. I don't follow nobody at all. But I'm trying to figure out who are some of the people that y'all check for. Like, are there any influences out there that are kind of doing positive things, doing things that you feel like help you better yourself in today's world, or not? Or the opposite? Anybody doing anything that?
I like the Blairisms. A gay black couple, and they just they look like they love each other to death, and we don't see that very often.
Sean and Dion. I like Sean and Dion. I like their show. They do a lot of pranks on each other, which is really fun because they're a couple. And I don't like pranks, but to watch, no, don't prank me. But to see them prank each other is really fun because it's really loving and watching their reactions and stuff.
Well, I guess tonight for me is great because Amber from Amber's Closet, she is quite the activist. Now, I love that she does so many things that are so supportive for the community. Whenever I'm on my social media, it's a little bit silly. So it is a little, it's a little weird.
What's your favorite platform?
Well, Instagram. I love Instagram. So I kind of like that get in, get out.
Right.
Yeah.
What about TikTok?
I know. Aaron was like, yeah, I know about all that. You know what? I'm kidding. Not kidding.
TikTok.
But no, I haven't done TikTok though. I haven't gotten into the TikTok game.
Our guest tonight is on what platform?
All social media. YouTube, she's definitely known on YouTube. She is really holding space for the lesbian community. She is a a social media sensation. So, I mean, definitely on YouTube and everything else, but like, I cannot wait for you guys to meet her.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
Well, I can't wait for y'all to meet this tuna poke.
Okay, let me get pokey. Okay, here we go.
Enjoy.
I love it. So bye, Sean. Thank you.
Bursting onto the social media scene, Amber Whittington, better known as Amber's Closet, started her YouTube presence with fashion and vlog-style videos.
Hope you enjoy. This is my first vlog.
Quickly discovering her own voice, Amber shifted her focus to speak candidly about relationships.
This full-on stud is my ex-girlfriend. You guys, this is crazy.
Identity.
I'm about to come out of the closet and tell you guys my coming out story.
and of course, sex.
I feel like that's a really good position to where you guys can both feel something.
Her honest and forthright commentary quickly gained attention, and over the past 10 years, Amber has amassed a huge audience.
I can't even tell you guys that I have been fighting for you guys as my audience for years, trying to prove your worth to brands that you're worthy of being advertised to.
Amber sees the strength in her voice and values the power of the LGBTQIA+ community.
And what I really love is that she's really in our space, and and really trying to fight for things that are not just about the equality for the community that's LGBTQIA+, but then also for the Black community that resides within that. And so, and that for me resounds, and sometimes she gets a lot of kickback, and so I think what we're really going to be able to get from her is what are some of the pros and cons of that, because as we know that you can actually have these moments where you do things and you put things out there, and then they can actually really work really well in your favor, or they can backfire.
That's right. That's true. That's true.
And so that what's kind of some tools and tips for success with that?
And legitimacy.
And legitimacy.
Because a lot of the sites now, that you have this illusion of all these followers, and but they're not real.
They'll have 1 million followers and 30 likes.
Them.
And guess what?
Out of 1 million people, only 30 people liked it.
Wait a minute. There are times where you are in certain situations, because I can't even tell you how I do get paid off mine, and all they see is the numbers, and they still pay. That's at the power of social media. And the other point is your site.
So you're actually getting paid off
social
social
media? Look at that.
I post.
Y'all stop that.
Right.
I'm serious.
Local
one?
restaurants.
Sure,
I do food for different local restaurants. Oh, yes.
Oh, so you're not getting paid through the social media vehicles. You're getting paid through people who.
Yeah, because I'm so.
You're an influencer.
No. If I like the food, I really drive. I can, if it's in my heart.
Traffic. Isn't that what an influencer does?
Yeah.
Well,
you're an influencer.
Auntie too old to know and too young to quit. And I always say, if you don't get to grow old, you make a beautiful young corpse. So let's make sure we grow old.
And Cheryl got a lot of followers from Lamar Odom shouting her out as his mental health advocate.
So bless Lamar, because if I'm Lamar's mental health advocate, you could imagine he's helping me. Okay, Lamar helps me. He chose me to give me some help.
You know what's interesting about that, Cheryl?
Delicious.
Is a lot of times we're doing stuff like this whole idea of like social influencer, right? Or an influencer. And you're like, well, I'm not an influencer. And we're often taking actions and doing things, and they have names for it, and we don't even realize that we're doing this thing that people are turning into careers and the whole bit. So I'm really interested in how do you decide you're an influencer? Is it just because of the following that you get, you then by default become one, or do you set out to become an influencer?
I love that question.
Well, I love the idea that something that inspires you or motivates you can actually be used as a career opportunity or a way to make a living and earn money. So even if it's not your independent career path, it could certainly be something added to your career path.
Okay, well, I want to add it.
Yeah.
I want all the checks.
And you know what? It does take time.
I do.
Me too.
Yeah, I want all the checks.
But let me tell you how I started. Someone was homeless across the street from me, sleeping on a bench. And I had already helped him get a car, and he got sick and went away, older guy, and he was on the bench, and COVID hit. And so he had no car, because while he was gone, he told me to go ahead and sell it. And so I was so devastated, I called someone who had a following, and that was Mr. Checkpoint. And he came over and put us on live, and a one-owner Cadillac got towed down in the moment. And now this man has some place to sleep at night. And he had been sent home without a walker. He had a cane and had a hip replacement. Here come a walker down with Eddie's name on it. And once I saw that could happen, I was like, whoa. So it is remarkable what can happen, not with a lot of numbers. You'd be surprised.
But between the four of us, I think it's you who have the most. And I want to know how you got yours. I know how you got yours.
I don't even look at it.
Do you want to say how many you have?
I have no idea, but I know that it's been very organic. I've been working in the beauty industry for a while, and so a lot of that was just from traveling internationally and just meeting people. For me, it was just a way to just stay connected with people. So I never actually use it as a vehicle to actually promote myself or to market my business. I also have a website.
Okay.
So that I had always thought that that was the way, if someone wanted to do business with me, that they would do that. But things kind of shifted. And I don't know that I'm necessarily in that situation where I'm saying, oh, I can't wait to keep doing stuff and promoting new business for myself as much as,
Just
you know, I
happens for
feel
you.
established enough
When
where,
did you
you know,
start?
if you
When did
know
you
me
start?
and you want to find me, you'll find me.
When did
So,
you start?
Start what?
Your
Exactly.
social media.
I can't tell
I
you.
know,
Cheryl.
right?
I can't remember
Years
when
ago,
that was.
probably,
Yeah,
when
it was
they
years
started.
ago.
How do you decide what to post?
Well, I have to say, like I mentioned in the kitchen, I post a lot of silly because I'm silly. And I feel like, and which is
Fun.
why I like Instagram, because I feel like, but I also am very specific around, am I posting on my actual page for my feed, or am I posting on stories where it's going to go away in 24 hours? I repost a lot because I laugh at so many other people, in fact, it was really funny because one day, I actually reposted something from Aaron's page because I was having a really crappy day and he had done this really goofy, like, he was dressed as a lemon or something and he was singing. And
Mariah Carey?
Yeah, it was awful. And so I actually posted, I said, when life hands you lemons, you make lemonade. And so, but I posted it in my stories because again, it didn't need to live. It lives on his page. But I posted on my story because I was having one of those lemon days. And so that then it was just kind of like, okay, so it was nice and fun. And again, a way to just kind of bring some recognition, you know, to Aaron, because I think a lot of people that will watch my post like that I will put really silly things on. So a lot of what I do is repost feelings or moments or things that I just think are funny.
We got to go to a break.
Okay.
When we come back, we're going to hear from how you post.
Yes, I can't wait to tell you.
Okay.
All right.
I have a very specific strategy.
Okay. I'm about to learn something.
Well, he ain't got that many followers, so I'm watching online. So.
Well, that's okay. We all begin somewhere, right?
Right.
Aaron, what's the strategy?
So I had a YouTube channel back in the day. I was one of the earliest viral videos. I had 2 viral videos, and this is how I know it was like 2007, early days of YouTube. One was when Beyonce, so people would do these reaction videos to the news. Oh my goodness, I saw that Beyonce's mother got slapped by a fan. And my first thought is, she probably deserved it.
Oh, we didn't know.
And
We
people
couldn't even
loved it.
understand. Aaron
I got
was on
messages
one.
in
If you
from
had
Germany
kept going,
the next day. It was so strange.
Was it the Beehive or?
No.
Oh,
no,
just-
this was before
Oh,
Beyonce
before they were-
This
oh,
2007, I think. This was
Oh,
so
okay.
early.
Okay,
So it was
got you.
thousands of people. That was the first viral video. The other one was, I did this little joke. It was April in Cleveland. And I was close to the camera, and I'm just like, you know, some people say that cold weather is, you know, it's harsh on the body or something. I just call it a new sensation. And then I back up from the camera, and I'm wearing absolutely nothing.
Not a thing.
Except some high heel shoes.
Not
And
a
I got up,
stitch.
it was like, oh, and dove in a big pile of snow.
Snow.
I mean, yes.
You were nude?
Nude and
In
just
high heels?
in high heel
heels.
shoes. And
What color were the shoes?
they were wedding shoes, the white sparkly.
Where were you
And
at?
that went viral?
I was at home. Yeah,
At where?
at home.
At his mother's
So
my
you
mom, yes.
actually owned
It's mom's
wedding
house.
shoes?
Yes,
We
these are
were
the
like,
same
well,
shoes.
Aaron,
I
don't
talked about.
crazy.
I need a strategy I can use.
So, okay, so there was a third video.
I think
those
Okay,
were
let me
the
hear the
wedding
third
shoes.
video. Go ahead.
The third video was me in a tub playing this song called Everybody's Fucking But Me. I became viral. I did become viral because I walked in my neighborhood and somebody was like, oh, you're the guy in the bathtub.
Yep.
Okay.
And I
Early
couldn't
on.
believe it. I live in a black neighborhood. This was 2007, 2008, very early on. And so I closed that account because I was afraid that I would be known forever as the guy in the bathtub.
I see.
Yes.
So this is is this what you should do or don't do on?
I don't know, but
But you can't go viral.
and my new Instagram.
Oh.
Woo!
This
Okay. Let me tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna open the door. Because I think this window has closed.
Get the guests.
Okay.
Oh, I can't wait.
Hi, beautiful. Hey, with the little elbow bump. Yes, Kobe. You can have your mask there.
Okay, let me just hang it up.
Welcome. Come on in, Amber.
Hi,
Here,
Amber.
baby. See, right next to me, right here,
Oh,
baby.
yes, yeah. Oh, right in the middle.
Exactly, in the hot spot.
Special. Yeah.
Right, with
I know.
our YouTube sensation to your left, honey.
Oh,
Wait till
my
you hear
yes.
how he's going viral
No,
in
you
the
don't
snow
know.
and foam
Oh, my
and
gosh.
everything else.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was.
this is nice.
Which platform did you blow up most on?
First from YouTube.
Okay. Like around when?
2011, 12, 13, stuff started going viral for me.
Okay.
What made you do
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, what made you do it? I thought the same thing. Like, what made you do it?
You know, I thought it was like a joke. My sister was doing it for years before I did. And she was Ashton's closet before I became Amber's closet. We're just like real opposite with our fashion. We were just like both fashionistas. And so she was doing fashion, like girly fashion, in her closet. So then she threatened my life. If you do YouTube, you better be a closet. So then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna show my tomboy style, my androgynous, and so that's kind of how I started.
Is she straight, lesbian?
She's real straight.
Okay, so.
Yeah,
That's a thing.
yeah, she's real straight. She's high heels to the grocery store, so we were very opposite.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
High heels to the grocery
I mean, that's how I describe her. She's
Super woman.
People call her baby Beyonce. She looks like Beyonce, and we're from Houston too. So.
Oh,
Yeah, you're gorgeous. Yeah.
Thank you.
Gorgeous.
Thank
So
you.
what was the first thing you posted? You remember the first outfit?
love that.
No, the first video ever was me doing a collab with my sister, and everybody in the comments was like, oh my God, you have to do a channel, you have to. And then so I started looking at YouTube, because at first it was like, I looked at videos there every once in a while, but then I was like, let me see what's on here. And as I started looking, I just found no one that I felt like represented me or anything I wanted to see. So then I was like, oh, I gotta create it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was the following bill organic? Were you very intentional about, you had a goal as to how you wanted to, because since you had somebody who had been doing this, they probably understood the game, right? Well, looks, our chef is here with your plate.
Oh. Yes, now I'm here. Okay.
Seared ahi steaks with pineapple mango salsa. Bless your taste buds with the golden flaky ahi steak served over delicious pineapple mango salsa. This combination of sweet and heat, you'll eat until it's gone.
Ooh, thank you. Looks
Enjoy.
beautiful.
So the reason I was asking that question is, I've talked to people who say, oh, I started as a joke and it just kind of blew up. And so I was curious as to, because you had a sister that was doing this, when you approached it, did you approach it from a strategic perspective? How did you go about it?
No, not at all. And matter of fact, I just kind of like was throwing stuff up there for a couple years before I found out you can make money from it. And so that wasn't my intention starting it at all. I started by doing a couple little videos that I felt good about, like my fashion. At the time, I was the only one that I knew of in the lesbian community calling myself a STEM, because I wasn't all the way femme and I wasn't all the way masculine. I was something in the middle. So I put it together and just said it's STEM. So I wanted to
That's
show.
like stud and femme?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to show.
But for the folks in the back.
Right on.
We'll go over labels later because I feel
Okay.
differently about it today. But
Awesome.
I started saying that, so I felt like I wanted to show that fashion, that side of me where I'm like, oh, I can be feminine in a suit in the daytime in the boardroom, and then I can, sag my pants at nighttime with a backwards hat, and so like that's how it started. But since the beginning, I started asking everybody that followed me, like, what do you want to see? What's missing for you on here? So that was my intention for years, and I still do that now to this day.
Wow.
9
So you
years
are
later.
engaging.
It's called connection.
Followers.
Connection to your fans.
Oh yeah,
Engaging.
because without them, I mean, every time I meet a follower in real life that says, I've been with you since the beginning, I hug them like, dang, we're family. Because that's genuinely how I feel.
Hello.
Because without them, I wouldn't be here. They just allowed me to be a voice for us.
Can we say that again? Support is family.
Period.
That's deep.
Love it.
I started posting all kinds of stuff versus a theme. And I cannot tell you how many people have said, because it wasn't just makeup or one thing, but the other thing, people started wanting to send me cash apps. So, and we come from the old regime of Hollywood. So by the time distribution is the phone, okay? I'm filming what I want, and people are hitting me on my Cash Apps to help me. I'm like, distribution and funding?
Yes.
So coming from the old regime of Hollywood, my mind can't conceive that. And that's what happened for you, right?
Because the old way of Hollywood is that you needed to make it in Hollywood to be okay, but you're doing it by yourself. And people are throwing money at you because they want to support your voice. They want to support what you're doing and saying, you don't need any of that. We got you.
There's no way to
you.
do it. You just, you can't conceive if you just start doing it, because you guys are young content creators. You're creating your own world. There's no gatekeepers in your world.
And I have to say, what I've done wrong on my new channel, my Instagram, @CelebrityAaron. Anyway, that has like 1,000
That's a
followers.
shameless plug. We were supposed to.
I know, right?
Got it.
I have like 1,000 followers and like 1,500 posts. That's horrible. That's a horrible ratio, by the way.
Listen, you got stuff to say.
But
No, I don't know.
it's a horrible. I have more posts than followers.
Oh, okay.
So, but what I have
supposed
not
to be
done
like that.
is I post for myself. I post what I find entertaining, that when I'm having a rough day, I can go back to my page and just look at these videos and crack up.
Yeah.
And it's fun for me. I love my social media. But I would love, like you, I would love to blow up and go viral, but I have not connected with an audience. So maybe that is what's missing.
Or the platform, or it depends on like what you want to deliver that makes you feel good, because sometimes it's just the wrong platform. You know how many times people come to me and they're like, oh yeah, I want to be a YouTuber like you, I want this, this, and this. I'm like, what do you enjoy? And when I sit down and talk to them, I'm like, baby, you need a podcast. Oh, you need to be on TikTok. It's just like finding the platform that fits your voice and the audience, right? Because I have very different audiences from Facebook from TikTok to YouTube and Instagram, very different.
Can you tell us about the differences?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, for me, the people on Instagram are more, they're grown and they're sexy and they're woke. I'm gonna say that word, right? They're down for the activist stuff. They're down for the real stuff that I post. And the YouTube wants drama. You know, they want my content when I was younger that I was making with my girlfriends. They want me to kiss my girlfriends on camera all day. I'm grown now. I don't do that. I have more stuff to do.
that's before OnlyFans.
Yeah, oh yeah, right? That's the one I didn't touch. I didn't touch that one. Even though I thought about it, you know? We were all in the pandemic, okay? For a moment, we all thought about it.
We'll talk about that.
And then what about TikTok? What's the profile
Oh, they
there?
just want to see me dance.
Oh my God.
And now all these
Can
kids
you
are running up
dance?
to me.
You
No,
dance?
not even a little bit.
Well,
But my
Aaron, this is perfect for
fan,
you.
yeah, see, you got it. Listen, both of y'all would kill it on TikTok. I just know. It's personalities. It doesn't matter your age or your background or what you do. If you're a person that like people can like learn from or they enjoy you, everybody is making their own way on there. And that's the beauty of TikTok.
Everybody has told me I should do TikTok.
I mean, I already know.
Well, it was one of the things you just said earlier that I thought was really, really fascinating. You actually tapped into your fan base to help you develop content.
Yeah.
When Aaron actually said, I do this for me, and that I want to watch me later. So if I'm having a bad day and I want to come back and watch me. So I think that it was two very different intentions.
Right.
So that you.
I mean, I do both.
You know, I mean, so yes, of course, it's still, you know, it's fulfilling for you, but your intention was, I want to also do something for others. So that then, is there those moments that happen where you then get some pushback, people that don't enjoy what you're doing? Because I think that's the other thing that's also one of the fears of being on social media is that, especially when you get more popular, is that then you get this feedback. And I know Aaron is very sensitive, so I'm very afraid if he starts to get more followers and then people reply and they don't like something or they respond negatively, that he then takes it to heart and takes it personally. And so then as he grows and becomes more popular and hears more negative commentary, that then he just starts blocking all the fans. So.
Block list is longer than that.
I blocked 1,300.
He on this show now, so it's coming.
How do
is
you
coming.
deal with feedback that you prefer not to get, you know?
Oh yeah, well, okay, I'm gonna get into that. But first, thank you, Chef. This is fire.
Great.
Thank you. Yeah, yes. But you know, there's so many different ways that I've handled it, especially over the years being on the platform for so long. at first I wanted to fire back at everybody. You know, because being one of the first coming out videos online in general, of course you get a lot of people hitting you up. A lot of like Bible thumpers. I grew up in church on both sides, Houston or Southern Baptist and Catholic on one side. So like I grew up like, don't know about any of this right here. Y'all don't let me fit in anywhere. And so I already had my own, I guess, experience with that didn't feel like home. And so when I get everybody coming at me online, I felt like, oh, let me just put them in their place. They think I don't know this, you know, whatever. I was spending so much energy doing that I was draining myself.
Thank you.
This is not my job, right?
Hello.
And then I got to a point where I'm like, I actually feel bad for these people.
That's what I'm talking
Because hurt people try to hurt people.
That's true.
There is no one out here that is happy or confident that has time to come at other people online. I mean, let's be real,
Say that
right?
one again.
Okay, there is no one that's happy or confident in themselves that just spends their time coming at other people online.
Yep.
So when you think about that, it makes you kind of feel bad for what those people are going through. So, and for real though, y'all, since I'm gonna say I'm gonna say this, everybody that was coming at me about being gay online that were like religious people are people that are going through their own sexuality identity inside. I don't think my energy needs to be spent there unless it's really like a conversation where they might gain something from me.
That's awesome.
Anyways, block them out, y'all. Keep it moving.
Well, you've actually used the term like you've called yourself a weirdo. What about you in some way feels like being a weirdo? Why would you say that?
I felt like an alien growing up, and I think it's because of all the spaces of where, I mean, growing up was back and forth between Houston and Sacramento, two very conservative places. Me being biracial, it was an issue every day. I mean, from both sides. So I feel like I was always treated as the other, so I always felt like that alien, that weirdo, you know? And I know that I'm a little bit different than others in how I think. I feel like I grew up a lot faster than other people, so when they were over there doing like, what I would say immature stuff, I was just like, I don't got the time, I'm gonna, you know, whatever. And so that's why I say that, because I definitely felt like I was a unique individual, especially when I started out on online content.
I love you when you say that word.
We're going to run the
Unique.
break. We come right back and pick this up.
Okay, good, I can
I've
take a
learned
couple
a
bites
whole
in.
lot.
I know, and talk about your
Learning a whole lot.
uniqueness and
This
how
is
to help
good.
Aaron, because child, he jumping in the snow and wetting pumps. Honey.
I gotta hear this story, oh my gosh.
I just wanted to tap into some of the content, because you know, I love that you were saying how just who you are and expressing who you are and how you're different than your sister, and you know, how has that been in terms of presenting on this platform and all of these different platforms?
It was good. It was good early on.
Okay.
I feel like YouTube blew up because there were so many people that were missing from traditional media that were able to find their space and their community online. And that's what blew up YouTube. And then it turned into something else.
Okay.
It turned into a space that was for advertising. And that's really what it is, right? So they make their money through advertising, and when it became a marketing company, things switched. All of a sudden, the people that made the platform boom became the ones that were demonetized, or their voices kind of were silent because we were not the advertiser-friendly types anymore, right? So if you think of like Kingsley, like how he would deliver and he would curse and he would just like show his passion or whatever, he was one of the ones that started to get hurt from the same platform that gave us a voice, right?
that.
Oh yeah, I was demonetized for years, and it's because
What do you mean when you say demonetized?
demonetized means that they take the ability away from our videos to make money off of it. So we can't run ads on it, right? So it's a way of like silencing our voice or hurting us as creators to be able to push through, because it takes money to make money. Let's be real.
Right now.
Right? So I talk about, well, let's just say, when the advertisers started to become the priority, right? They said, oh, okay, we only want our ads to run on this type of video, whatever. So it ended up hurting anybody that was in the sexuality or talks about sex in general, but they put our sexual identity in the sex category, which didn't make sense in the first place, right? If you talked about social issues, that was another thing they started demonetizing. And then just all of us that are people of color felt like we were not getting supported. So if you didn't realize, I'm in all three of those categories. So I went from doing well to not doing well at all for years, and I had to fight for us to all these platforms and advertisers and all these big brands and say, yo, like my community is worth being advertised to. Like, what do you mean? We spend the money.
How did you do that?
It was because I came from consulting before, and so when brands hit me up, I turned around. I said, "Actually, you aren't friendly to my community. So what are you changing? Why do you want to now promote to us, and why can't you pay my worth, right, or any of our worth?" And so it was crazy. So those same platforms that I felt like demonetized me after everything happened the last couple years with the marches, they were the number ones banging down my door like, yo, you've been talking about this for years.
Praise God.
Yeah.
King George.
We need you now.
And did you receive them, or were you like?
Oh, yeah. Listen, but they
bring it-
paid my worth,
No, I heard that.
okay, and respected my community. If y'all don't know that, every time I do a brand deal, they're giving back to one of my communities in some way, shape, or form.
Yes.
I don't do it without that. Like, because, like I said, I'm doing it for us, so I gotta continue that.
I just want to cry. Or you are like, will you run for president?
One day. No,
One day.
not president, but state assembly or Congress on the way, baby. Like 3, 4, 5 years, absolutely.
You young people are going to change this world. It's the truth.
I'm a part of a few campaigns this year, actually, so
Talk
if y'all
to
can
us.
come out and get some of my friends elected, then I'll feel free to get in there. You know? Yeah.
Who would you?
Oh, yeah, so my friend Marquita Thomas is actually running for West Hollywood City Council.
Marquita?
Okay, yes.
Yes.
Chamber of Commerce?
Please come. I'm hosting her fundraiser next Sunday at Mickey's. Please come.
sure.
And that's a really big deal. We don't have space in West Hollywood. It's mostly for white gay male, let's be real.
Yes.
So her being an openly queer Black woman is a big deal.
Yes.
So let's get her in there.
I heard
And
that.
Can we dig into that a little bit?
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
When we think of this idea of West Hollywood, West Hollywood has been branded as the city for gays. And so when you say we don't have any space there, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
I mean, how do y'all feel? Y'all go to West Hollywood, don't you?
Oh, I definitely kind of affirm the narrative.
Okay.
Whoa.
But that-
From,
but-
from a gay male perspective, is a little bit different though than like Palms
Oh, yeah.
and other places that were available. So I don't really know what the lesbian scene is like in West Hollywood or if it exists. So
Yes.
I'm curious about what it is like today.
It's really hard. We have to fight for space, for sure, because, I mean, WeHo is mainly for white gay men because they know that they spend money. And then men of color have to fight for a space because they think as soon as they start playing their music, or what they think is their music with our music, as soon as we play a little bit of hip hop, they think, oh, we're gonna get this type of demographic in here, and we don't want that at our space. So it's hard to get space for anybody, but especially for lesbians, because they don't look at us as people that spend money. I was one of the only parties on Santa Monica Boulevard for women. So it's really hard because we always have to fight for space in an area where we're supposed to already have it.
Do you see that changing?
What it's going to take to change is more women being able to own property over there. That's really what it is. One of my friends is an investor in the property where I had the women night, and that's the only reason why I got that opportunity, is because as the only woman investor on that street, she said, I'm not going to put money in unless you guys create a girls' night. And so I'm hoping that from that space, more nights can be created for us.
You don't have to be a woman to provide, space.
LA is just real unique because people here, like the gays or whoever you are, we go everywhere. We go to every party, we show up everywhere. And so I think having a lesbian bar isn't as in demand here as it is in other spaces. And that's why I get booked everywhere but LA. LA is where I feel the least supported, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what is this term? What is it? Celesbian? So
Yeah.
explain that. Okay.
Okay, a celesbian is a celebrity lesbian.
Okay.
I don't think I'm included in that.
No,
So I
why
can't really
not?
speak for that. I'm not a celebrity. I might be known because of social media.
You're bigger
but-
than a celebrity.
So what's the
dude.
difference? What's the
Content
difference in
creators are bigger than
celebrity and
celebrities
internet
nowadays.
famous and how do you name yourself, if at all?
I know, when people ask me what I do, it's really a tough answer. I just say an activist.
You're an artivist.
I hear that.
That's what you are. You're an artivist.
Thank you.
That's definite.
Blushing? Because I want to hit my soul.
Young people
Thank you,
now,
Cheryl.
man, you guys
that's
are
a good
really,
one,
you guys
Cheryl.
are
Yeah,
really.
coined
And I'm
new-
bright,
new
so you can
term.
see that.
We love it. Bright. I love you for not saying light skin.
Yeah, real bright. Yeah.
No, it's the power that really exists in your hands now, and you all are marching forward with it. So,
And there's the
Own it.
representation is so few.
Yeah.
Do you know Stormy DeLarvie? Stormy is considered the person who actually started the Stonewall riots.
Oh.
A black lesbian, and
Right.
it's I don't know anyone. I heard it on Clubhouse.
Yeah, no, I know. You know, I'm a Stonewall ambassador, and we did a documentary where all of us were, like Lance Bass and a lot of big celebrity gays were able to take voices of the interviews that the people from Stonewall, right? And of course for me, I was like, with the history, I know that there is a black lesbian that was a big part of this. I could not find her. It was like she was erased from the history. So my voice became a white lesbian. I represented for I used the voice of a white lesbian that was beating a cop that was beating her girlfriend. And it was just to hear these voices of people, the interviews of the people that were there and what they went through, it's crazy. Like, I feel like all of us were in tears. If you ever want to see it, y'all should watch. It's called Stonewall Out Loud. It's very moving.
Wow.
But yeah, that's one thing I think as black masculine lesbians, our history's being erased. And that was one thing that I got attacked on. I think I was talking to you about it on Instagram like last week. It's just trying to keep space for us ends up being a problem for everyone.
We'll take
Yeah.
it.
I'm trying to give y'all black history, and you are mad because you always want to take over our spaces, and we only have this much left.
And what was that word? Because I think it's an important word for you to say out loud.
Stud.
Yes.
Stud was created as a way to explain a black lesbian's experience from her counterparts, white lesbians, because it's a very different experience that we have versus anyone else. And so we created the term stud. There was also fish, and we renamed dyke, right? It was bull dyke. It was a negative.
those are my terms back in my day.
All right.
Yeah.
Listen, we're trying to carry it forward.
Okay.
And using it as a way to empower ourselves, right? Just like we took the N-word, right? And so when I made a educational video saying that, hey, like, other categories, you can't use stud because stud is not only not for everybody, but it's actually only for a specific type of lesbian. And everybody got mad.
Interesting.
But I said what I said, and I dropped the mic.
John's mic. Okay, well, we're going to pick the mic back up. We're going to take a quick
Love
break.
it. I'm
And we're
using
gonna
that
come
from
back.
now on. I'm going to say those
Thank you
words.
so
I
much.
said
That
what
was
I
really
said,
important
and
to
now I'm
share.
going to drop the mic.
Okay.
What's your advice to the gaybies that are like coming up in the social media world and how to help them with like TikToks and everything
Oh my
else?
gosh, right? I mean, I always say the same thing, like, create content that you feel good about, and like, don't be afraid to be your true authentic self. Because after a while, it'll be,
Oh, we got something for you.
oh yes. Hey, yes, outfit.
This is delicious. What is it?
Daring to be different.
So what I have for you all today is a Crown Royal Old Fashioned. And so it's mixed with simple syrup, bitters, and a little bit of orange zest. And it's for the woman who's ground in her truth and speaks for women like me.
Ooh.
And it inspires the next generation.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Thank you.
Oh,
Look at there.
Wait, oh.
Why
Cheers.
y'all give me emotion this over here? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Cheers. We can't cheers with that because it's bad luck. Take it back. Take it back.
I'm
ain't home, though.
Okay, we just don't want to,
You're
curse
okay.
Miss Cheryl.
You're okay, baby. Don't. Yeah. Yeah.
That's good. That's delish.
But I feel like my platform is a good introduction for the gaybies. Y'all know the gaybies.
Yeah, little baby.
The little
Explain.
baby, yeah, the little gay babies,
Got
right?
it.
People trying to find themselves or come out.
Do you mean like children, or do you mean just like teenagers and?
I think everybody that is like maybe has questions of their sexuality or who they are, how they want to present in the world is kind of like encompassed in that word. We can find a better word, but like that's kind of that's them right now. So I feel like I'm a good introduction for them, as well as I do make a lot of content for like the grown and sexy people. But like, so some of my how-tos are like I have made videos about sexual experiences, like how to give good head and how to strap and take care of your toys properly, and things like that. Yeah.
What about parents, our gabies? And have you done any videos about parenting? Because I keep thinking, when I came out at 17, and I went back in, and now I'm not getting in no box. That's where I'm at, right? But at 17, I remember just brushing it off. My whole thing was to hurt my mother in any way possible.
Yeah.
And I just came to that conclusion. But I recently, now at this stage, after having a child, and I could have got the worst parent award, right? And he's no longer with us right now. He got his wings. But my mother recently, she said, it was really hard for me. Mama, come on, now I wasn't all that. And then I looked and said, you needed a support group, didn't you? What about support groups for parents with kids that are trying to find their sexuality, find out?
Well, let me say two things. One thing that is unfortunate is that when some of us, no matter what age it is, comes out, our parents tend to make that about themselves.
Yes.
Right? And it isn't about them.
Right.
And so that's why I've made a lot of videos helping the younger generation on how to come out and how to combat that, right? Because our parents naturally always want to live through us and want us to do the things that like they didn't get to do. But that applies these unnecessary pressures for no reason. And just because my sexuality might be a little different than you thought, doesn't mean I'm still not gonna be that person to meet all these goals and make a positive impact in this world, right? And so that is an unfortunate thing that I know a lot of my followers go through, and that's why I make these videos on, okay, if you think your parents might react in this, maybe try this, or maybe wait till you move out. Different ways on how to strategize on coming out so they can feel safe, right? But I do have to say that I get DMs more than any other DMs from parents saying that they love my content because it helped them understand their child or understand how to approach them or talk to them or just understand the lifestyle so they can be like, whoa. Because the thing is, I want to be a stereotype breaker so that people realize we have more in common than differences.
Yes.
Like we all go through heartbreak,
Yes.
right? We all go through like, maybe being upset with our parents or grieving or whatever, right? So then making content where everybody can feel it.
When I was your age, that's
Cheryl,
why.
can we pick back up on that when we come back from break?
Definitely, thank
So
you.
let's take a quick break and
Thank
we
you.
come back and get a little dessert.
Okay,
And
thank you.
dig into
and
the
I'm not gonna forget that
strap-ons
thought.
and the
Right, and see how you like
So you
the
glossed
strap-on.
over that, but we're gonna come back.
Oh, we're coming back?
You like that?
Cheers.
Okay, so we were at the part about parents. And so that's why I said to you, when I was your age, I told my mother, man, it wasn't that hard. Come on, get over it, right? And now that I had this child, I had a kid and I wasn't the best mother. And about a year ago, my mother, since we started doing the show, because our church members is wearing her out. And so I said, Mom, you just got to stand up and talk to your church workers and say, and then she looked at me and she says, I said, this is the easiest part, Mom. At least it's where, and I looked at her, and she looked at me, I said, you really needed some therapy back in the day. Well, I'm a clinical psycho. I do therapy now, so I could see it in her eyes. So I respect you for saying, no, we got to concentrate on the young people who are trying to find themselves.
Yeah.
But the
And
way...
equip them.
Yeah,
Equip them with the tools
but we
so
cannot
that they can
forget-
navigate those waters effectively.
We cannot forget that psychological support for a mom, a parent,
Thank you.
it
That is what we
get
don't
brushed.
talk about.
So while you're doing that, maybe I'll start doing the other.
Did you have a lot of parental support?
No, I was gonna say I didn't really feel like I can come out. I came out very late, and that was the other reason why when I exploded, I started doing everything I could to help anyone that went through a bad journey like I did. Because I was so mad. I was like, how did I care about these people's opinions so much that it took me so long to be my true authentic self? So I feel like I wasted years of being a different person just trying to appease other people.
How old were you when
So-
you felt that you were different?
Oh, I'm early, like 6 years old, Jada Pinkett, on TV.
Jay, did you hear that?
Lord Jesus. What? I mean, my babysitters were fine. I mean, I knew early
You were
on, but
clear,
I didn't
huh?
know. Yeah, I was clear, but I didn't know. Because I didn't have the language. And then I went to Catholic school my whole life where I
you went
definitely
there
didn't have,
too?
oh yeah.
I did too.
Okay, see, you know.
I know.
Okay, that's a whole
We
thing.
all play. A lot of us play house. There you go. Look at there.
Oh,
You get a special.
Well, they
I'm
told,
special?
yeah, you a guest at the house. You know you're
Thank
special.
you. Listen,
But
that
they
food
told me
was
you were dairy
good
free,
earlier.
so
Oh,
Look at that. Chef Sean.
Gonna work for you?
on top of it.
yes,
All right,
I'm
so
good. Thank
beautiful.
you.
Midnight Mango. Hopefully it tastes like a mango.
Midnight Mango Dome. No midnight train will take you to the Mango Dome. Made up of 4 layers of almond cake, mango mousse, cream cheese, and mango gelatin, this dessert is sure to send your taste buds on a trip to paradise.
I just wanted to say before we move on from parents,
Yes.
because PFLAG exists.
Oh yes, I work
And I
with
think
them.
we have to just do a shout out, because if there are parents that want to look up PFLAG, PFLAG, Google it, but it is for parents, and it is an organization of parents who are parents of gay, lesbian, bi, and trans
Yes.
kids. And just like anything else, if you find that it's not culturally appropriate, there could be things you can learn there and start branches that add that cultural element. Because let's face it, I mean, a lot of these organizations do start in the white community. And if you just need to, and it's not like it's not welcoming, it's welcoming to everybody. But I think what happens is when you're a person of color and you join these different organizations, the cultural element just isn't, it doesn't speak to us in quite the same way. But certainly learn the content's the same and then repackage it for our communities. So I just wanted to put that out
As
there.
RuPaul
Because
says,
parents do.
You don't got to reinvent the wheel.
You ain't got to reinvent the wheel. That's right.
The wheel is just fine.
Acid, right? Thank
Oh yeah, get
So
some of that.
dessert
and then-
always brings us to love and romance and all that good stuff. Because you're busy, you're changing the world and preparing for your next chapter. Do you even have time? I mean, how does all that work?
I mean, I always make time.
All
Like,
right.
'cause-
Y'all hear that?
yeah.
Active.
Yeah.
Always make time.
Ain't
When there's a
nothing wrong
will,
with
there's
that.
a way.
Okay. I mean, stuff gets hard, but then when I go out into the world and meet a supporter, then I remember what I'm doing it for. And then it just like sets me right back into place.
So what do you look for in a partner?
Ooh, a partner.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Do you have time to?
Oh, do I have time for a
care of
person?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I always make the time for love. Okay. I feel like everything in life is love. Like everything based on our foundation of humanity is love, whether people can see it or feel it or not, because it's fear versus love, right? I always said that, but I know Will Smith just came out in his book and now everybody's saying he said it. Well, I was saying it already, okay? And it really is like when you're fear mindset, right? You're maybe insecure about yourself. You don't know who you are. You're like scared to reach your goals or whatever. But when you move with love, everything just is different. You show in rooms different. You light up different. You find your passion. You love your journey, whether it's hard or good. You see the best in every situation. And so that's how I feel. So yeah, my partner needs to understand that. Positive mindset, happy, knows who they are, has love to give.
Would you like a few?
A few of them.
I love that question.
You have a few.
I've done that before, Cheryl. I have. I've been in a
Auntie's a
throuple.
mess.
I've been in an open relationship. I've been dating multiple people at once and let them know that.
Oh,
Everybody
I love
knew.
you for it.
Oh yeah, I let everybody know what's up.
Good for you.
But I'm looking for my person.
Okay.
And
So
yet,
how?
exploring. Go ahead, please.
How would that play out, especially with your how-to videos, where you're being, where you're helping others? Do you think that actually will draw people, that type of energy for love, or do you think that someone might be kind of put off by you being so forthright with how helping others find this sexual space energy?
Right. I mean, most of my videos aren't in that, but how I feel about everything is like, if someone feels a certain way about the way that I live my life, then that's just not the person for me, right?
Great.
I mean, it really isn't. I want to be around people and like, of course, like with someone that like understands my intention with how I move and how I do things, and like really can fully understand me. So with that being said, a lot of women do bring up that video the most when they come up to me. It's crazy.
So it's
and
a
a lot
promo.
of straight women at that.
Oh,
No, straight women love
the
those
worst.
videos. They're
They're the worst.
I mean, they're the number ones. I
Bro,
can't
don't let
even
them
lie.
find
I've
out
dated a
you
lot.
gay. Don't let them find out you get all them think they gonna be the chosen
Listen,
one.
I know because they have been a few times, okay? I'm not gonna lie, I've dated a lot of straight women more than anything else because they're not scared. They come up and they're like, what's up? When lesbians dance around me and they look at me strange. So I have done my part for our community by turning out a few.
You know what?
You done with me?
You didn't say that.
Let me go, let me go, let me go, let me go.
You have star people to live it.
Y'all gave me the drink. Y'all gave me the drink.
Well, you know, all good things come to an end. And we're at that
This
point.
was great.
It is. It's time for you
It
to
is
go.
been.
I'm not even
No, you ain't gotta go, but we gotta go. And we want you to know that once you come to the house, you're what? Family. Thank you so much for being here. This has just been a breath of fresh air.
We hope you
And
love this.
Love
show.
you.
And
This
we're
has been
happy.
fantastic.
Fantastic.
I love it, y'all. We didn't
you'll
even
come
argue
back.
or nothing.
No.
We can find something to argue about. We got 2 seconds.
Let's go in the back.
Come
Let's
on.
go in the
Okay, you know
back.
what?
Can't believe she took my